Futures, I spoke with President Trump about the origins of the Russia probe and when his campaign was targeted by Hillary Clinton. When do you believe the FBI started working hand in glove with the Clinton operation to take you down? Was it early 16, or do you think it started even in 2015?
It started before I won, and it started when they started seeing that I could win, and it's a disgrace, and we caught them. We have them called, and now they have to do something about it. But other documents are going to be released, Maria, which are breathtaking. Yes. Wait till you see what's coming out.
Oh, really?
Breathtaking.
Is it about Hillary Clinton, or is it about the FBI that's coming out?
It's about everything. It's about everything. Hillary Clinton is crooked Hillary. How do you get rid of your emails after you get a subpoena? She got text messages, emails, etc. How do you do that? It's criminal.
And one of the ways the FBI wanted to stop Donald Trump was to stop his incoming national security advisor, that NSA, was General Michael Flynn. Joining me right now is attorney for General Michael Flynn, former federal prosecutor and the author of the book Conviction Machine, Sidney Powell. Sidney, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks very much for joining us. I want to ask you the same question, what you think about the coup to take down President Trump and how it was a target on your client's back. You have a scenario that you believe took place here. Tell us what you see.
Oh, definitely. They framed General Flynn because he was the cornerstone of the insurance policy to destroy President Trump in the event he was elected. If you'll remember the timeline, of course, we now know that Hillary Clinton approved the transactions on July 26th. Peter Strzok opened Crossfire Hurricane file on July 31st. On August 15, they texted Strzok and Page about McCabe and the insurance policy they discussed in his office. On August 16, the very next day, they opened the file against Flynn. On August 17, the day after that, they sent Agent Pienka into the presidential briefing to spy and collect information on General Flynn, Gage's baseline mannerisms and all of that, and to collect anything they could about the Russia situation to use later in the event President Trump was elected and Flynn was in the White House.
You know, Sidney, what gets me is that there were a fair amount of people within the FBI, within the DOJ, who said, no, this dossier doesn't look good. This is disinformation. This is not true. We shouldn't be going with it. But their red flags were put aside. I spoke with former acting director of national intelligence Rick Grinnell this weekend about that and why certain government officials did not speak up about the efforts to take down Donald Trump. Listen to what he said. He gave a really important explanation. Here it is. Who, in your opinion, was the mastermind? And tell me what was going on here.
We now know that insiders in the government, at the CIA, at DOJ, at FBI, they knew that this was a Russian collusion hoax, and they allowed it to go forward for a variety of reasons. They were convinced that Hillary would win, and they didn't really want to challenge Goliath. They thought that their careers could be benefited if they just shut up. Right now, we have Comey and Brennan and others saying that they didn't know that this was a Russian collusion hoax. Their people knew. And so what we need to figure out is what level are these individuals going to go to jail? Somebody needs to go to jail.
So, Sidney, what is the state of affairs for your client at this point, General Michael Flynn? And I want you to tell our audience your theory in terms of John Brennan. We now know that Stefan Halper, who is a former spy, has been subpoenaed. And he was getting payouts from the Office of Net Assessments at the Department of Defense, the Pentagon. And this was basically being overseen by John Brennan. Here are the payouts that Stefan Halper got. He was awarded a contract valued at $245,000 in September of 2015. Fast forward to 2016, and we see another huge payout of $411,000. That payout happened a month before the warrant to spy on Carter Page took effect. You have a theory in terms of what John Brennan was doing over there at the Pentagon, right?
Oh, yes, I think he was running a slush fund, essentially. He and the FBI, too, probably together through the Office of Net Assessment to fund Halper to create all this huge smear campaign against General Flynn. But I think Rick Grinnell really understated the situation. It wasn't that they allowed it to go forward. They jumped on it and pushed it forward to the extent of falsifying information for the FISA warrant, pushing it through the media every way they could, working with Glenn Simpson at Fusion GPS, intaking a thumb drive from a lawyer at Perkins Coie. I mean, they were intaking information from Nellie Orr, Bruce Orr, everybody they knew was pushing this Russia hoax, and they knew it was a hoax.
They knew it, and they knew it was Hillary Clinton's idea. Sidney, real quick, what's the status of the case against General Michael Flynn? I know you have been pushing to get this dropped and Emmett Sullivan off the case. What's the status?
Yes, the government just filed a response to our recusal motion against Judge Sullivan a couple of days ago and suggested that he render that moot by granting the dismissal with prejudice. That would certainly be a good idea. Otherwise, he has to recuse himself.
All right, we will leave it there. Sidney, we are following this case closely. We want you to bring us updates whenever you can. Obviously, we recognize the importance of what this represents, Sidney. Thanks so much. Sidney Powell.